Hi, I'm MJ, and this is MJ Does Movies. So this week we're going to take a look at Independence Day, Resurgence, which if you live in the UK is either extremely funny or a very sick joke. The first Independence Day, I thought it was amazing. Like, 14-year-old me was like, yay, Independence Day! And like, yay, aliens! It was just a lot of fun. I think when I was 14, Independence Day was probably my favourite film ever, which is understandable because it's pretty amazing. It's kind of a very slick, well put together summer blockbuster. It's pretty awesome. The fact that a sequel took 20 years to come out, that's a fairly long time to wait. So, Independence Day Resurgence takes place 20 years after the original story, after the original film. Since then, we've basically nicked all the aliens' technology and built like a better world out of it. So then the president wakes up and he's all like grizzly and got a beard and shit, and he's like, oh, the aliens are coming! And then we go to Jeff Goldblum, and he's wandering around somewhere in Africa, I think. There's a big alien spaceship that crashed years ago, and all its lights are turned on. The warlord and his men here have been fighting these things for like 20 years, killing all these aliens on the ground in a huge war in Africa. And I was like, that sounds pretty interesting. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that. So then they go to this warlord to talk to him, and he says that's cool. And then we go and meet this guy called Jake, and very quickly I start going, what? Hang on. So this is our main character. Okay. I was trying to place where I felt I'd seen this character before. Oh, he's a Peter Quill. He's a Guardians of the Galaxy. It's trying to have that kind of vibe to it, but it's not really happening. First, we have this amazing. What they try to do is they show us the back of a black guy and go, oh, it's really good to have you back. And he's like walking in like super stiff so he doesn't turn around, so you only see the back of his head. Am I supposed to think that's Will Smith? Even from the back of his head, that looks nothing like Will Smith. That's just a black guy. And it turns out it's Will Smith's son. I guess, yeah, it made sense to make him, because they couldn't get Will Smith back, and they fucking remind you about that every 2 seconds. Right, this alien spaceship comes through like a portal or something, and they're like, fuck, shoot it, like, the aliens have come back, fucking shoot them, the president's just come and gone, the aliens are coming back. Jeff Goldblum's going, no, wait, don't shoot it. And they fucking shoot it, rightfully fucking so, but Jeff Goldblum's like, oh, shouldn't have done that, was really bad. And I was thinking, based on what? What are you basing that on? The only experience you have of extraterrestrial life was 20 years ago when they came and fucking blew everything up. And an alien comes through a portal and you go, oh, don't shoot it. Fucking shoot it! And ask questions later. So then Brent Spinner wakes up, and there's like an amazing bit of exposition. Like, his mate comes in and goes, oh, doctor, you've been asleep for 3,000 days and something minutes. And I was like, so you say this to him every day, do you? Did on the first day you go like, oh, doctor, you've been asleep 1 day. You've been asleep 17 days. So anyway, then Brent Spinner wakes up and he's like, oh, the aliens, they're coming back. And I'm like, no fucking shit. Have they not just fucking shot one out the sky? Like, no, that wasn't aliens. What? At this point, I'm starting to get a bit lost. Then this big motherfucking ship, like, it's fucking giant. Honestly, they look at it on like the radar and it's like half the size of the fucking world. And they make some jokes like, oh, that's bigger than the last one. And I go, no, okay. The ship flies in and they're like, shit, it's fucking, it's the alien. But this all happens while they're on the moon trying to find this bits from this other ship that they shot that they said, no, that wasn't like a bad alien, we shouldn't have shot that. So how would you differentiate? So they've flown up to the moon and they're looking for this thing, and they've taken the warlord with them and this lawyer. I'll come back to them later. So they're next to the moon and the ship comes and they're like, fuck. So they get pulled into its gravitational field, which is pretty cool. The aliens kind of come over Earth, lol. Instead of just shooting all the landmarks like they did last time, the gravitational pull's just fucking pulling the Earth to fucking pieces. Like, so they're basically underneath this ship watching the destruction. So we're in China gets wrecked out. And then suddenly, and this is where I just completely lost it, suddenly they're like, fuck, we've got to get out of here, and they're flying. And then they fly like across the London Bridge. And I was like, I'm pretty sure London's pretty far away from China, right? And I'm thinking, maybe there's like something that looks like the London Bridge in China, because my geography is like, it's not terrible, it's not great. But then they're flying away. They introduced this character who's like the cliched, like, oh, I'm a middle-aged woman. I used to go out with Jeff Goldblum. Funny seeing you here. Now we're both on the same mission. And she's like, oh no, they've destroyed England. It's awful. Oh. All right, so that was England. Great. Okay. So then this ship's coming and they make a plan, and this is where we get like this Jake character and Will Smith's son. The president's daughter, though, they don't send her even though she's a soldier for no reason. And they create this weird love triangle. Like, I guess I'm supposed to care about it, but you just, like, I just did not care at all. Yeah, so they fly up there and they try to blow the ship up from the inside, and they think they're being dead clever, but they're not dead clever. And the aliens have trapped them. So they trap them in there for no reason. They bait them into this thing, and I think, all right, so they need these guys, like, to what, like, because we kidnapped one of the aliens in the first one, and it explained to us about their race and stuff. Obviously, you're doing the same, right? Like, that's what you want to do. You want to kidnap them and go, but they don't do anything with them. They're just stuck inside this spaceship. Like, okay, so that was it. So they go, oh, our plan fucking sucked. So then what they do is they take this thing that they found on the moon, and Brent Spinner starts touching it. They open this thing, and this gas comes out, and it goes, I'm an alien, I have evolved beyond human understanding, you are a primitive species, I have learned your stupid language. This alien race travels from place to place, devouring planets to power itself. And I go, is this your big twist? Because I don't know whether you remember this, but you fucking told us that in the first one. Then it goes, we have created a civilization where we are forming a resistance, and you will be the head of our resistance, and we're going to fight these aliens in our space academy that we've set up for fighting them. And I was like, okay, this just got really stupid. So then they go, right, if the aliens find out this is here, they are fucking going to kill us. And I thought, well, what are they doing right now? They're fucking mashing the earth to pieces. They're just flying across the earth, going bush, 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 bush. What the fuck do you think's going to happen? Yeah, they're going to kill you either way. But anyway, it says, it can't find out that I'm here, so they turn it off. Basically, they set up a thing and they go, right, well, what we'll do is we'll destroy it, but someone's got to fly in there and fucking blow this thing up. The president's daughter, who, like, I barely remember from the first one, she goes, I'll fly in there because I'm the president's daughter, and I'm also a top pilot, but I haven't done any fighting with all my friends. I've just been hanging around here watching, kissing my boyfriend when he comes back for 2 seconds. And then the president goes, no, I'm going. And then she goes, no, I'm not, don't let him go. And then he goes, no, don't let her go. And then he goes. So, he goes. Then they all fly off, and then there's they look at each other and go like, you can do this. You know, save the world. And he goes, I'm not saving the world, I'm saving my daughter. We've has a shave first, because he looks like a crazy hillbilly for most of the movie. There's a bit though, I said, like, he wakes up at the beginning and he's like, oh my god, the aliens are coming. He locks himself in one of the rooms, and does that thing with the Brent Spinner. And he goes, get as much information as you can, and he gets him, oh, we're coming to kill your race. And then he goes into a coma like Brent Spinner did for like 20 years, except the president wakes up about an hour later and goes, oh my god, the aliens, they're coming, they're going to kill us. And I'm going, fucking stop telling me that. They've come to fucking back up the dudes you killed 20 years ago. They fucking know what's happened. Shit. So anyway, they set up this big plan in the desert. They did set up one really cool thing. When you see this alien spaceship that they're inside, there's like, like this big version of... It's basically a rip-off of the Queen alien from Aliens. And it looks super fucking cool. And I thought, ooh, hope we get to see that later. And then towards the end, obviously, they're attacking the ship, and it's like, fuck this, motherfuckers, and it puts on this fucking... Because they're like aliens sat inside like a big suit. But then they fucking blow the ship up, and I was like, wow, it fucking worked then. That was... Bonza, mate. I thought, oh, it's not over, is it? Or is it? It wasn't. So then this fucking giant queen thing comes out, and I was like, oh my god, this could be awesome. Like, and it's in the middle of the desert in the middle of the day, and that was its downfall, because in the dark it looked fucking super cool and awesome and like, ugh. But the second it comes out into like the fucking clear sky in the desert in the middle of the day, and it's like, hey, there's that fucking Jewish family that I hate. Like, it looks at them and goes, there's fucking Jeff Goldblum there. There's loads of shit going on with Jeff fucking Goldblum. It looks like Cloverfield with wacky waving arm inflatable tube mans like attached to it, and it's like through the desert after Jeff Goldblum and his dad. It's about to get them, and then they start attacking them, and then the president's daughter crash lands instead, and then it kind of turns around and goes, you're another main character, I want you now instead. Well, I want both of you, I can't decide. I'll kind of flip between whatever shots these guys are getting. How's that? So they just kill it and it dies, and then they go, fucking roids, mate, it's over, we fucking did it. And then they say orb comes back, which has kind of been flitting in and out. Brent Spinner turns it on when they tell him specifically not to. I've heard it's got loads of information inside, though. I just want to have a look. Well, there's a fucking battle going on outside. Are you fucking mental? This orb's got loads of information in it about weapons and shit we could build. So now we're going to take the fight to them. And it goes, end. And I was like, wow, that was exciting, maybe? The whole thing's just really overcrowded. It's too many characters. Because of that, you don't really care about any of them. Every time Jeff Goldblum shows up, he's really good, so you're kind of like, oh, yeah, I like you. You're good. But they attempt to have, like, all these big relationships between these characters, and every single one of them falls flat, like Jake and the President's daughter. And, like, I was convinced all the way through that Jake was, like, a character from the first one that I just couldn't remember because I'd completely forgotten about the President having a daughter in the first one. So I was thinking, who the fuck's Jake? Who is he? He's just fucking nobody. I looked it up. He's no one. It's a bit of a mess, but they try to cram in loads of cameos. They've got Will Smith's wife from the first one. There's like an awful green screen cameo of the general from the first one, and he's like in front of all these crowds of people, and you're like, oh man, I can almost see like the bleed from the green screen behind you. It's so awkward. No, it's not good. And they're constantly going, remember Will Smith was in one of these. Remember Will Smith was in the first one, don't you? Please remember Will Smith. Remember him. Please remember Will Smith. They fucking chump him out as well, because they go, oh, he just died in like a regular training accident. I go, you mean he fought loads of aliens, and that's how you killed him off? There's been alien wars going on all around the world, and you chumped him off in like a training exercise. You could have at least gone like, yeah, he was out like fucking helping some third world country like fucking fight these aliens, and he got killed. But no, I just died in like a training accident. Sad that, innit? So there's a cameo with Will Smith's wife from the first one, and this is the start of like these weird people being saved by convenient people that they have a relationship with in the movie. The first time is like everyone's evacuating this hospital when the aliens first attack. Will Smith's like wife, Will Smith's ex-wife, I guess, runs to the roof with like a patient who's pregnant. The helicopter leaves them, and it just so happens that like her son's flying past, and he's like, I gotta get down to the hospital, we've got to fucking save him. That's like one of many. I won't spoil that bit. A big thing that pissed me off was like the inconsistency in the size of this spaceship. But like 1 minute it's this giant like world-sized spaceship, and then it's like the size of like an ocean, which is pretty big. And then it's like the size of like a small town. I was fucking lost, like completely with the size of this thing and what he was supposed to be doing. The first film is a pretty simple premise. Like everyone's like, I'm on Earth, and then the spaceship shows up, and then they go, what do they want? And they go, they want to fucking kill you, don't they? And then they go, shit, what we got to do? We got to fight him. Now we kill them. And that works. This, I was like, it's come down and now it's let off all these little things, but one of these little things, is that how it works? But it didn't explain that. So a big one comes down, then it lets off a little one, but that one's the mother one, not the big one. And I was lost. Absolutely lost. I'm sat in there on my own, so I'm giving this thing my full attention, and I was just like, I have no idea what's going on here. Is it me? So really, it comes down to, is it any good? Yeah, it's alright. It's fun to watch. It's a good way to waste a couple of hours. Its whole story is stuck in the 90s. Whilst that was fine back then, I feel like story and plot has evolved even in the summer blockbuster beyond that, or at least it should have. A lot of its cliches just really didn't cut it for me. The only relationship I really cared about in the film was between the lawyer and the warlord. He's like this doofus lawyer, and he's like, I'm a warlord, I'm going to kill everybody. And by the end they're like, we're pals now. Oh, I like those guys. But everyone else I could not have given a crap about. Maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe it's just meant to be fun. It was fun. But it's definitely not as good as the first one. So, that was my review of Hello Mary 2, Independence Day 2. Thanks for watching, and until next time, don't say goodbye, just say, good journey. Thanks for watching this review, and if you liked it, you can like and subscribe down below, and you can watch last week's episode up here.